So yeah, we are all doomed. Oh, except for Kansas City Chiefs fans, who I'm sure are sipping mimosas on victory yachts right now, while the rest of us drink sorrow out of our mugs of despair. And Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, we truly have the NFL's version of Willy Wonka and his golden ticket. Actually, they're more of a Dr. Doom level threat. I always find myself referencing Dr. Doom for some reason. But in this case, it's called for, and here's why. He's arguably the smartest being in all of comics. The tech genius, outshining even Tony Stark himself. But here's the twist. He is also a master sorcerer, rivaling Doctor Strange. And we're not talking mere parlor tricks here. No, this is Sorcerer Supreme level magic. He even held the title of Sorcerer Supreme briefly in Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme #6 from 2016. Sure, it was briefly, but trust me, Merlin would not hand over the keys of the mystical realm to just anyone. But if you take Andy Reid's brilliance, that you combine it with Patrick Mahomes' magic, that you put them together, you've got yourself the NFL's version of Dr. Doom. But even Doom, with all of his magic, still at times stumbles on one fatal flaw. He is extremely petty, and his ego gets in the way. Could that eventually be the Achilles heel of the Kansas City Chiefs? Probably not. I mean, I guess time will tell, but one thing is for sure, the NFL landscape has shifted. A new dynasty has risen. And Tom Brady emerging from retirement might be our only hope of stopping this, at least in the short term. And before Kansas City fans get all bent out of shape saying I'm hating on the Chiefs again, I just want to remind them that football is supposed to be fun. Calm the f*** down. Now let's move past hypotheticals for a moment and discuss the Super Bowl. What a roller coaster. There is one burning question I have for you, Niners fans. What is the temperature on Kyle Shanahan right now? How are you guys feeling about it? Now, before you unleash your fiery takes in the comment section, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, by the way. Let's examine both sides of this coin. The argument in support of giving Shanahan the axe could be laid out as follows. The blown leads are a problem. Even for the most diehard Kyle Shanahan supporter, that is hard to ignore. And then there's the matter of overtime confusion. If the reports are true and the team truly did not know the overtime rules, that falls on the coach. And because this is a democracy, we must examine the opposing viewpoint. Yerk says hi, by the way. What argument would you formulate in defense of Shanahan? We know the man could at least reach the mountaintop. It's a good time to drop a 28-3 reference. And to be fair, he also has not had a quarterback who is in the same league as a Mahomes or Brady. But even with what we'll call fine quarterbacks, Matt Ryan being the best of the bunch by far, he was still able to reach the pinnacle. So Kyle Shanahan's coaching acumen is undeniable. Somehow he has handled this sometimes volatile San Francisco quarterback situation with dexterity, and that deserves a round of applause. And let's face it, finding a good head coach is rare, as any Jets fan will attest. And I can get into that, but I really don't want to talk about it. But despite all that, the question still remains. Will he ever be able to win the big one? Will he ever be able to go beyond the mountaintop and live amongst the clouds with the likes of Andy Reid and Bill Belichick and Lando Calrissian, who's probably a more appropriate resident of this metaphor? Right now, the data suggests probably not. Not without an upgraded quarterback. And while we're on the topic of quarterback, let's discuss something really quick. I'm going to throw another metaphor out at you, so prepare yourselves. Imagine you were given the task of assembling the Avengers. You'd probably feel confident with Captain America or Iron Man at the helm, right? Their proven track records in the face of terrible threats inspire unwavering trust. Now compare them to someone like Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye. A formidable hero in his own right, but he is clearly not Tony Stark or Steve Rogers. He probably wouldn't be on the short list of people you would call if you were hanging out with Bruce Banner and someone hit him with a spitball and he hulked out and started smashing convenience stores uncontrollably. You're probably wondering where I'm going with this. Just hold on, I'll tell you. The 49ers have assembled a fantastic roster that people have compared to the Avengers. But the question lingers, does this current quarterback have what it takes to lead this team to glory? It's a fair question. This is not a knock on Purdy's ability. The child has proven himself valuable. But the Avengers situation I just presented highlights the importance of having a quarterback who could elevate everyone, who can make the sum greater than its parts. If Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, and Clint Barton were all quarterbacks on an NFL roster, Stark and Rogers would be battling for that QB1 spot. Clint Barton would just be happy to make the team. Something just occurred to me, though. If he was allowed to fire footballs from his bow, he might just be the most accurate quarterback we've ever seen. Might have to edit out this whole Avengers thing now. No, but Roger Goodell would never go for that, so I can keep it in. In short, Kyle Shanahan's hands may be tied until he's able to get someone other than Cliff Burton under center. I meant Clint Barton. Cliff Burton was the bassist for Metallica. I actually meant Brock Purdy. What the hell am I doing? Purdy has defied expectations before. He was an MVP candidate this season, for sake. Will he continue adding to the script, or will his story fall along the established narratives of Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins, who we know are good quarterbacks, but they just haven't been good enough when it's really counted? Sadly, we've probably seen Purdy's ceiling. And while it's starting caliber, we have to ask ourselves, will he ever be good enough to be able to take a team beyond the summit and live amongst the clouds with Lando Calrissian? I suppose time will tell, but let me know what you think the answer to that question is in the comment section below. The Niners fans, I know you're hurting, but contemplate this. Setbacks tend to offer valuable lessons. While this recent loss has undoubtedly brought you immense disappointment, it serves as a valuable reminder for what lies ahead. Your team is chock full of Compound V level beings. And if you don't watch The Boys, Compound V is what gives heroes their powers. That being said, you happen to lose to what we now know is a legendary duo in Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. What can you do? But remember, even the mightiest of warriors face defeats, and I can sit here and list off countless comic book stories where that has happened. Superman and Doomsday comes to mind. However, their true measure always lies in their ability to rise up stronger than before. Batman and Bane, too. Regardless of this outcome, the Super Bowl conversation in the NFC will undoubtedly revolve around San Francisco again next season. Especially considering Philly is a mess and Dallas is still Dallas. And Dan Campbell's fourth down decision-making might just continue to be the gift that keeps on giving. Seriously, dude, just take the points sometimes. But keep your chins up, Niners fans. Injuries aside, you should be right back in the thick of it again next season. You'll probably have to face Kansas City again in the Super Bowl, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Unless Aaron Rodgers and the Jets stop them first. Yeah, I'm not even that delusional. I mean, I guess it could happen, but I'll believe it when I see it. And a sincere, heartfelt congratulations to all the Chiefs fans out there. Now, I'm sure you're thoroughly enjoying every second of this dynasty journey you're on. I don't understand, though, how some of you seem to be bothered by the fact that many of us consider the Chiefs to be the villain of the NFL now. Personally, I believe the villain of the NFL to be the most coveted position in all of sports. It means you are so good that the rest of us hate you. What I want to give for the New York Jets to be the villain. But I digress. As I said before, enjoy this ride, but I do want you to remember one thing. The rebellion is far from over. You've been warned. Till next time.